This week, I finally got around to finishing the anime Demon Slayer, and I did not expect it to turn into something that was perfect for an anime beginner like myself. Honestly, I cannot believe what I have just seen. Just as a side note, though, I only watched what I could see on Netflix, so I haven't seen the Infinity Castle movie, which came out last year. So I've seen basically everything from the beginning up to that point. So, you know, I've got a basic idea of what goes on, but I haven't quite finished that. So no spoilers, please. I'd really appreciate that. But the basic idea, as far as I can tell, and like I said, I am a beginner for anime, but this was a pretty easy one to get into. So we've got Tanjiro, and his family is attacked, and his sister does survive, and the whole premise appears to be that she turns into a demon, and he would like to bring her back into being a human again. And that's your basic story. He then ends up joining the Demon Slayer Corps, a group of people who, as you would expect from the title, hunt demons and try to slay them. And it just so happens that because his sister is one, they are pretty mad about the whole idea of him wanting to travel around with her, but he manages to convince them that she's actually a good person on the inside and that she would never harm a human. So she's a good one. She's okay. She can carry on doing what she's doing. And they go off, and he needs to train to become strong and powerful and basically try and find the answers that he needs. And there are multiple levels in this Demon Slayer core, and there's everything from like your basic noobs right up to the Hashira. And there are, I think, 9 of them. They're like the tippity top, and they're the ones that are really defending the planet from the big bad guys. And in particular, one big bad guy, and he is almost the source of all the demons on the planet. And yeah, chaos ensues, as you could imagine. But I think, even though that seems like it's a bit complicated, you don't really need to know much more outside of that. And I think that's what made me fall in love with it so quickly, is that they kind of explain that from episode 1, and by episode 4, 5, 6, that kind of level, you already know what's going to happen. You're already in it, you know what's happening, and then it's a case of, okay, we just need to unlock certain doors in order to get to our destination. And it's got a buttload of content that you could do on that journey. So I'm imagining it's going to go on for a fair while yet, which is cool. I'm more than happy to commit. So in terms of myself and watching anime, when I was a kid, getting home from school, there was like your Pokemons, Digimons, Yu-Gi-Ohs, One Piece, that kind of thing. I was really into all of that. I kind of drifted out. I mean, these are pretty major. Beyblade was another one. These are pretty major, like mainstream anime type things. But I was never that sort of teenager that was like, okay, I'm gonna really get into anime and things. I read a few like manga things. I was more into like comic books and stuff, so like your Marvel kind of superhero thing, and I never really branched into anime, so I'm kind of trying to get into it a bit more, but I'm still learning. There's still like loads that I haven't even started yet. You know, I've got a few on my list. I've seen things like Free Ren. I've seen, like I said, I haven't seen all of One Piece, but I'm going to start that again, try and like catch up. I managed to watch all of Pokemon, so I'm up for 1,000 episodes of things. That's absolutely fine. I tried to watch Tokyo Ghoul, Jujutsu Kaisen. That one was really cool. I've tried to dip my toe into these things, but I finally finished with Demon Slayer, and I loved it. Absolutely loved it. I found it was super easy to binge, so I was like, able to just sit and watch like 5, 6 episodes at a time, which for me, that's not something that I can normally do. I usually end up watching 1 or 2 episodes of something, and then I have to sort of switch my brain to something else, or I'll watch a movie, and sometimes I won't even sit through a whole movie. I'll get halfway through and think I need a break. let me carry on and watch something else. It's probably a symptom of being like Lord of the Rings being one of my favorite things when I was a kid, and the extended editions, I've been like, wow, we only got to watch half of it now. When we need to swap the disc over, we'll take a bit of a break, a bit of a walk. But yeah, so this being able to binge that 5 or 6 episodes really tells its own story as to how engaging I found it. And the animation style was just top tier. I've never seen anything like it. I mean, I'm a big fan of Studio Ghibli. You know, we've got a few on the shelf here. And like I said, I've watched Pokemon, and that's changed its style throughout the years and things. One Piece is obviously really wacky. But this was something else. I've never seen anything like it. It was so, so cool. And I absolutely love, there's like, without going, you know, this may be spoilers and things, but so if you haven't seen it, apologies. It's not a huge spoiler thing. I'm not going to go into super detail until later on in the video, but when they're doing their like battling styles, so there's different techniques they can use, as like fire, water, air, sound, all these sorts of things. The animations that come with that, like the water and stuff that goes surrounding the character when they're using a move, man, so cool. It's just really, really awesome to look at. We're at the point where I'm thinking, I'd quite like a tattoo of that, you know? I've got a few tattoos. I have a Pokemon tattoo, and I'm thinking maybe just next to that I could stick in like Tanjiro with like some of the water technique. I think that would just look sick. But yeah, so like I said, I'm a huge fan. I really, really enjoyed it. The cinematic element of it, looking at all the different like sceneries, the music that they bring in together, it's just really, really well made. And because of the way that it's paced as well, the story, you're never too kind of, I always get a little bit overwhelmed if something goes too quickly. This is just right. It keeps the story flowing, but there's a few little almost filler episodes where it sort of slows down and you know what's happening generally, but you can sit and you can enjoy it. And yeah, it's the pacing is just right for me. I absolutely loved it. I think it's one of those that if you are new to anime like me, you don't need to be scared. It's not one of those things where like, oh, I don't really like anime. I think there's something for everyone in this, whether or not you're new or you watched loads of anime. Like I said, it's one of the better things that I've seen, so it's definitely worth checking out. And I mean, let me know if you think it's one of the top tier. I'd love to know if there's animes out there that I haven't seen that look better or as good as this. I would love to check them out. So yeah, really, really appreciate it if you could give me some recommendations there. But yeah, the characters. So Tanjiro as the lead, he's kind, he's got a good heart. I think he's always in the right place. And yeah, I just find him so nice. And he's not one of those over-the-top annoying anime characters that you sometimes get. But he definitely has his moments, and he just really wants to do well. He wants to prove himself. He wants to get stronger. He wants to take care of his family and his friends. He's just a really good lead character, and looking after his sister Nezuko, who she becomes a bit of a badass at times. I'll give her that, but she doesn't really do much outside of that. So spoilers. Here we go. This is probably where I should say there's a spoiler warning now if you haven't seen things. But honestly, I also really loved Inosuke and Zenitsu. Those two are just absolutely wild. There's bits where like Zenitsu is just like asleep and fighting, and Inosuke is just going off the rails. It's just, they're brilliant. Really, really cool characters. And all of the Hashira as well, they are really good. Some of them really want to help out, some of them really don't. There's a really wide range, and a lot of them have their own like styles and personalities, and there's just so much potential content within this universe that I thought it was really, really cool. So the ones that I've seen, like I said, we've seen Unwavering Resolve, which is like the first arc. It's setting up the story. It's Tanjiro, like I said, losing most of his family, then training and joining the Demon Slayer core, getting to know his friends. We're getting to know how things tend to work, battle styles, what we need to do, who the bad guys are, who the good guys are. It sets up a lot of stuff and it does it really well. And even if you just watched that arc, I think, you know, you'd probably be satisfied. That was a pretty cool way to spend your time. And then we went on to the Mugen Train, which was a little bit different, a little shorter, but the enemy in that, where he like fuses himself to the train and he can like attack people in their sleep, that was really, really cool. Never seen anything like that, but what a cool concept. And then them having to like figure out the puzzle of how can I battle this thing when I'm asleep and how can we take it on, having to solve that. Really, really well done. I enjoyed that. I think I binged that in pretty much 2 days. Really enjoyed the Mugen Train bit. And then we moved into the entertainment district with the Hashira with his wives that look exactly like our main 3 characters, but we won't get into that. But he was the super flashy guy. And again, new set of enemies come in. This time I think they were a higher level and kind of worked in tandem with each other. They had to destroy both at the same time, and that was really interesting. Again, another puzzle, another dimension. It's not just, okay, these are our heroes, they will defeat bad guy in battle. They really have to work as a team in different styles to try and unlock to the kind of strategy in order to defeat the enemy. And just, yeah, it's really difficult to explain just how cool I think that is, without going like over the top. But that was really cool. I didn't mind the entertainment district. I thought that was all right. But then my favorite of the arcs was just after that was like Swordsmith Village. I'm pretty sure that's when they were in the woods, so they're waiting for the swordsmiths to make them like weapons and stuff. Lots of really good like enemies in this sort of arc, and yeah, that one was really cool. Then there was the Hashira Training after that, so we've come quite a long way in that time. Obviously 4, 5 almost arcs. Tanjiro's getting stronger, his friends are getting stronger, they're moving through the ranks, they're building up like all this stuff, and then they're right, now we're going to train to be Hashiras. We're going to train to be the tippity top so that we can defeat Muzan, big bad guy. And yeah, it's really like all coming together. And then right at the end, they kind of almost get tricked and they end up falling into the Infinity Castle, and that's where I got to. So yeah, really, really cool overall. Like the whole way through, I don't think there was a bit that I was like, well, where could it improve? I mean, the whole story for me, there wasn't really any down time. It was all really consistently good. And because it mixed it up so much, I thought it kept it really interesting. Yeah, just really, really cool. I think, like I say, it's perfect for a beginner because they spell it out. You know exactly what's going on at all times. It keeps your interest up. The style looks really cool. The characters are likable. And yeah, I think, so maybe even if you're not a beginner and you're someone that's like super into anime, I know that this film that came out is like the highest grossing anime movie of all time. There's definitely going to be a reason for that. I'm sure there are plenty of hardcore fans of Demon Slayer out there. And if you are, please let me know. We can be friends. Because I only know one other person who's seen it. A lot of my friends don't watch any anime or anything. They're those sort of people that would say, oh no, that's not for me. I'm not into animated things, and like, which is fine. I think this is one of those ones that I can recommend to them and they'd still kind of enjoy it. But yeah, I'd love to come across some other people who are really passionate about it and really love it, as long as you don't spoil the movie, or, you know. But yeah, I think that's it. I think that's everything I wanted to say. Usually I try and stay kind of calm. This is a cozy space. We sit here and we discuss movies. But this one, I was so excited to share what I thought, and I think I did that. I think I said everything I want to say, but I'd love to, like I said, have a deeper conversation about it in the comments. So please get in touch. I'd love that. And yeah, perfect anime for beginners. I think that's definitely the case. Perfect anime all round, I think, for fans and everyone. I can't think of a single person who wouldn't enjoy this if they sat and watched it. And I cannot wait to sit down and watch that movie. I have no idea when it comes out. I'm probably going to get it on Blu-ray and sit and watch it. Even if it comes out on like a streaming service, it feels like something that I'll probably enjoy enough that I will want to sit and watch multiple times. So to have a copy of it up on the shelf would be super cool. And to be honest, maybe I'll just get the whole lot. I thought it was that good. I gotta show you something. Have a look at what I bought. So I'm kind of into making like models and stuff, and I came across this while I was in a hobby craft, while my wife was stocking up on craft supplies, and I was looking at the models that they've got in there. I came across this bad boy. So yeah, I'm going to put that together. That's going to be up on the shelf once we decorate the office here. So I'm super excited about that, and I'll show you what it looks like once I've made it. I'll post a picture on my channel or something. So yeah, thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. So I will see you very soon. I'm going to post some more shorts this week, and we'll be back. I'm going to do one long form video every week now. I've been doing 2. I'm going to drop it down to 1, just time, life, and all that sort of stuff. But I hope you enjoyed. This week I will be watching, trying to finish Shogun. I think I'm going to try and finish Shogun and possibly Alien Earth. So I'm going to make a video about those. And it's Friday the 13th, so yeah, maybe something scary comes our way. We shall see. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed. Thank you so much. If you did enjoy, please leave a like on it for me. I'd really appreciate it if you made it this far. And I shall see you very, very soon. Bye-bye for now.